Atomic consultant Martin Ford had turned up the previous night, dropping down into a swim in the far corner of the lake, close to where Mick had vacated. He wasted absolutely no time getting amongst the fish.
Other side.
Bagging this stunning 48-pound mirror, a perfect example of some of the top-end fish that Flores holds. Beautiful scaling and a massive mouth, it characterises perfectly the archetypal French carp. This was Martin's first trip down to Flores, and it's suffice to say he was suitably impressed.
Ah, it's great, mate, isn't it? Shot across for a couple of days, like, you know, really good, mate, really good. I've had a 48 this morning. Believe they call it the pretty one. To be fair, like, you were sat here in the half like this morning. Once it was in the net and you looked at it, you could have been back home in England at Frimley. Real big apple scales on it, like stunning looking fish, so superb. There's been fish lumping everywhere, all over the place. Like, it's been hard to pin down spots. Like, I was talking to one or two of the lads that fish it quite regularly. They've been across before. Like, and there's a big trough that goes right through the middle of the lake. It's a feeding area. I am told they do feed them there in the winter, so they're obviously used to finding food in there. Always difficult to know how much bait to put in when you come to a place like this, because I mean, it's not a massive lake, but you know, it's nice. Like, there's a good head of fish in here. Probably put in about, up to this morning, about 5 kilos, and they've gone on it this morning, sort of thing, like, you know, and so hopefully we'll catch a few more as well. So I'm really fastidious with rigs. Like, if I catch a fish, like, that rig comes off and another one goes on, yeah. Now, if you're catching a lot of fish, like, you know, you can go through any number of rigs very, very quickly, and to sit and make up a liner at night, especially with my eyes at my age now. So what I've done is, before I put the tubing on, I actually get a pair of scissors and I put a slit in the tube, 1/4 inch long. And what it allows me to do, once the tube has shrunk down, is I can pull either soft braid or coated braid into that little slot. It allows me also to have a little bit of an elongated piece of tube on there, and it acts as a little bit of a kicker, or an anti-jet kicker. They can't get it out of the mouth, right? And depending on sort of like how far you put it down, you can create a little bit more of an aggressive curve. But once it's in the mouth, every time it flips over and it goes in. It is a liner, but I've called it the lazy aligner, because instead of having to put the hole through and then bring the soft braid or whatever back through the little hole with a needle, like you have to with that particular setup, with the little slit in the tube there, cut by scissors, you can pull it in and you can set the material wherever you want to. Great thing as well is, and I think I was talking to Steve Renyard a few years ago, the guy who invented the Withy pool rig, and it's a really elongated curve on the Withy. This is not too indifferent, but obviously this is for a bottom bait. I mean, in this case, a snowman pop-up, bottom bait and a pop-up. It's got a little short tail on it now because they are quite confident feeders. They've got big mouths. But for iffy fish, you can elongate that tube a bit, put a little bit of a curve in it, and you can set that material to exit the lazy aligner wherever you want it. So something a little bit different, and you know, it works, catches fish.